for the book Puppy Love, for the chapter Puppy Love in our book An Angel Appears, I'd like to talk to you about your experiences with animals throughout your life. I know we've covered Holly and we've covered Ivy, but just to give our viewers an idea of how important animals have been in your life, would you like to talk to me about it, please?
Yeah, I've had all sorts of animals in my life. I've had dogs, I've had cats, I've kept fish, I even kept pigeons as a young lad. But mainly, I suppose it's been dogs that have been involved in my life. I always had terriers and running dogs, right from being a child, right up to present day. Too many to mention, actually.
I remember once you told me about foxes. You had a thing with foxes, didn't you?
Yeah, I've always had an interest in fox and fox cubs.
Did you have one?
I hand reared 7 cubs.
Did you?
Yep.
Tell me about
When
that.
I say hand reared, you have as little to do with them as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You actually, when you feed them, you just put an old pigeon in and they rip it to bits to cells. You can't.
Why did you have them then? What did you?
We found mother that had been caught in a snare and she chewed through her back leg. So we had to destroy mother.
Oh, that must have been really painful for you.
Yep. But sure, put out of the misery.
Yeah. And then you took her cubs.
Then we took cubs, built a special cage for them in my shed.
Yeah.
And I had these 7 cubs like.
How old were you when this happened?
I was 20, 23, 24.
So you'd have just come back from Wakefield?
I'd just come back to Wakefield.
Cool. And then how did you feel when you let them go?
Great, they actually I didn't let go of them here. The actually went up to, believe it or not, gamekeepers in Cumbria.
Oh wow.
And Will let them off on his land.
Oh, that's amazing.
Because even though gamekeepers they said they don't get on with foxes, but Will did.
Yeah, he was okay with that.
They were okay with it, even though he knows foxes set birds, and obviously he used to rear pheasants and everything for local shoots and that. But it's part of nature.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
It's part of nature.
Cool, that is so cool. And I also want you to tell me about, please, because it's all part of this whole love of animals and nature that you've got. Can you share with us the story of the hares when you saw them boxing, when you were out with your lurcher one night?
Yeah, one night we were out, me and a couple of friends, with my running dogs, and we came through this tunnel and we turned lamp on and all these hares were boxing and they were running round in a circle.
Is that a spiritual thing?
I don't know, it's the only time I've ever come across it. And there were 2 hares in the centre and then hares seemed to be running round it. And I've never witnessed anything like that in my life before, and I've never heard anybody talk about it before. But we saw some sort of spiritual thing with these hares.
And you've never forgotten it, have you?
Never forgotten it, and it felt magical.
Yeah.
It felt like it were unreal.
That's amazing. Gosh. What would you say to anybody who is thinking about getting an animal?
You've got to understand that an animal, when you buy an animal, it's going to be for a fair few years. When you think average dog life is anything up to 17, 20 years, a cat, anything up to 10 to 17 years. Yeah. Alright, such things as hamsters, mice and stuff like that, they don't live a great time, but a couple of years. As a small child, they can fetch very good feelings. It can teach you to look after things,
And teach you about death as well.
Yep.
That's just, it's a sort of a sad thing, but like, it can teach you about death. So before you go, Rob, what's your favourite animal?
My favourite animal out of all animals I've kept in my life has got to be a dog.
Why?
Because if you give a dog a can of meat and show it a little bit of love, that dog will follow you to the ends of the earth.
Unconditional love.
Definitely unconditional love.
So it has to be dogs as your number one.
Dog is my number one pet.
Lovely, thank you. Okay, well, I'm going to turn the camera off now. Thank you for sharing those experiences with us. I know that people watching will be really interested.
Thank you very much for interviewing me.
Thanks, babe.